Hey everybody, I hope you had a good holiday, a good winter break. Glad to have everybody back, start getting the new semester started, figure out what everybody's going on. Today I just want to do an update, talk about what to expect coming up in the spring, what we're looking at, what we're doing, and get everybody up to speed. As you all may have noticed, I've started clearing out people that are inactive. Please respond to that by Monday. Everybody who has not responded by Monday, I will be kicking from crew. If you do happen to get kicked and you still want to be a part of, you just happen not have notifications on, shoot me an email promptly, reach out to me, and I'll get you put back in there. But please make sure you go ahead and do that. I'll be doing updates like this as needed throughout the semester. Last time I tried to do them every week, that just wasn't always necessary because there wasn't always information every week. I'll be doing these, as needed. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel. It just makes it easier than having to find people, track, whatever. But yeah, so please make sure you always watch those when I do, and they will always have important information because I'm just going to do them when there's information to talk about. The projects are going to roughly start now, as in we're forming groups. We're coming up with what we're doing, and then we'll run through the end of the spring semester with everything having bows on it and tied up by May 15th. All meetings and updates will be done via Zoom. That's another thing I'm going to do a little bit differently this time. Last semester with all the groups, we set to do weekly meetings. That just wasn't necessary for each project. So I try to look at it project by project, and I'll cover all that as I get to them. I expect everybody to be a part of at least one project each semester. I know people like the clinic, they want to work in the clinic, that's very important, but also this is the stuff that we're doing in the program, this is how we're moving stuff forward. And so if you don't have a lot of time or energy to do with one of these, I will try to note which ones are less of a commitment and which ones are a little bit of an easier project. That'll be pretty clear as we go through, but I would like everybody to sign up for at least one. Sign up for a project by shooting me a direct message. That's first come, first serve. We have a certain amount of slots in each one. Once they fill up, I will make an announcement saying this one's full. And I'll kind of keep you all up to speed with what's going on with those. On Monday, after I clear out all the interns who are no longer a part of our team, I will go through and add everybody who hasn't already signed up for a task. I will give them a task to sign up for a project. And as we get going into this, let me know what you need. Reach out to me, to Debbie. Let us know what you need from us. If you need a meeting with me to talk about semester projects or what you might need for school and requirements, or you want to learn more, or you feel like you're struggling with just reach out to me. We can always connect, have a meeting. If y'all feel like you need trainings on stuff, I know blood draw trainings have been brought up a lot. So Debbie and I are looking at when we can do one of those next. So our first project here is the high school education series. We're calling it the Art of Courting. This is the second part of it. So we spent the fall semester really working on a curriculum, a video series that we're going to implement in Missouri high schools. Actually, this is closer to part 3. We really started working on this over the summer. It's really most of 2019. And it's turned into a lot of different stuff. But at this point, we're now developing a video series. We've got a chunk of narrative developed. We're going to be going back through that and writing, drafting, outlining what needs to be different, editing, and by the end of this semester, that will be a clean narrative that we can start doing video with over the summer. 5 intern spots for this one. You need to be able to write, have skills in that area, editing, doing some simple research, not intensive, but you need to be able to find information. 1 for each section. So I'm going to have rotating, so basically we'll have a meeting one week, and then the next week I'll just post an update and it's a few comments, and then we'll have a meeting the next week, so on and so forth. We'll come up with a meeting time that works for this. The HIV National Day. So what I want to do is there are a bunch of specific days, of course everybody knows about World AIDS Day, but there's also Latino HIV testing day. And there's a bunch of stuff like that. I want to come up with a calendar of those events. Develop what those are, come up with what we can do for each one of them. Just kind of, and it's not going to be intensive, right? Okay, we're going to have a specifically marketed, targeted night in the clinic for that specifically. Pretty non-intensive project this semester. 1 to 2 interns should be plenty for this. We'll meet every other week, roughly. prep education. So what I want to do is I want to develop a 2 to 3 video, kind of a short series going over information about prep. You know, if there's one thing I've noticed, a lot of people feel really like they don't have a lot of information about this. They don't know how to explain it to clients. This isn't going to be intensive. We're not getting super medical, but we're just going to make a couple PowerPoints on some of the main points of, you know, risks, what it is, how it works. That's meant for, you know, really for y'all, for the other interns to be confident and describing that to clients in the clinic, providers, general population if they're interested. But, you know, it's going to be 3 to 4 minute videos. This one will also probably be moderate in terms of involvement and efforts. 2 to 3 interns will meet every other week for that one. Qualitative research part 3. So we have been nonstop doing research into identifying barriers to testing and trajectories to HIV transmission in mid-Missouri. It has been on us to go, why is this happening? How is it happening? How does it get there? You know, over the last semester in the fall, we wrote and completed an entire narrative. We now have a full article on our research. So that's already written. It's got citations in it. If you know anything about academic rigorous writing, that means I did that, completed that, sent that off for a first round of peer review, and we got slashed to threads. So we will be spending the first part of this doing major edits, shifting, changing, making that all flow, bringing all the different parts together. This is going to be heavy on that editing and then setting up the next part of the study. So the next part of the study, we have this paper we now done. We're going to pull that research together, come up with, and then we already kind of have it, but we're going to make a survey out of that. So we interviewed people for this part. We're going to take that survey and we're going to now send it out to a lot of people across the state to test our findings and get more generalized information about trajectories and possible interventions. So assisting with getting that survey out, submitted, getting that into the hands of people, filled out, et cetera, so that we can write the next paper. 2 to 3 interns. I want a small, tight team for this. This one's probably the highest commitment level. You must have research skills and high-level writing skills. This isn't one to go, I don't have any experience with anything like this. Probably not the best project for that. I want at least some experience with this because we are, like I said, with this, now we're doing the heavy edits. The next step is we're going to send this off to the Journal of Rural Health for peer review and possible publication. We'll be meeting every week. This one's my favorite. So next, clinic survey. This is another one that's probably a little simpler. What I want to do is just take a look at the clinic. What do our clients think of what we're doing? What's working? What isn't working? What do we need to change? Every time we've done that, really good stuff's come out of it, and we've gotten a lot of really good insights. So, we're going to be coming up with what questions do we want to ask? How do we want to ask them? We'll do that part probably pretty quick, and then we're going to implement that into the clinic, run that for a couple months, and then we're going to analyze it at the end of the semester and come up with what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what do we need to change. The summer's always the best time to implement new changes in the clinic because the students are gone. It's a lot, it's a simpler time in the clinic, it's a lot more lightweight. 2 interns, biweekly meetings. This one may be the lightest. What it's going to be is it's going to be a chunk of work at the front end, right? We're going to develop it when we're putting that all together, and then it will be we put that in the clinic, and then we don't really do a whole lot besides input data like once a month until the end of the semester. We kind of bring that together. This one's a bit more lightweight, but to input that data, you're going to need to be able to go up to the office at least once a week, once every other week. That could be done when you're bored during the clinic or something like that. But this one, like I said, probably going to be not that intensive, but people that are willing to go up to the clinic and do some of that. This group also, like I said, I want them being able to go up to the office once a week. And likewise, if we don't have a lot of surveys to do that week, we need to catch up on some filing, and we could really use some help with that. So this team would probably also be helping with filing as well and getting that caught up. So, like I said, those are our projects. I'm going to be keeping, a list of who's doing what. I'll show this to everybody here at the end. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm excited to get going. Thank you all. And I look forward to hearing from you.